Lichtig Chanukah to everybody. There is a world-famous question that the Pnei Yehoshua asks about the Yom Tov of Chanukah. And that is the following. There is a world-famous principle called Tuma Hutra B'Tzibor, that if the majority of the community is Tameh, then one is allowed to bring Tameh equipment into the Beis HaMikdash. For example, when it comes to the Korban Pesach, and if the majority of the community is Tameh, one is allowed to bring the Korban Pesach B'Tumah on Erev Pesach. So why did the Chashmonaim feel the need to search and to look and to discover the one jug of oil that was still pure? They could have simply brought any oil at the time, even if it was Tameh. So to answer this question, perhaps, I'd like to share with you an article I read a long time ago by one of my favorite sports writers, Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons moved to Los Angeles from Boston, but his biggest fear in life, Lahavdil Elef Havdalis, was that his children would be Laker fans and not Celtic fans. He saw that perhaps there was a shift in his child, and they started to like the Lakers. So what did the sports writer Bill Simmons do? He had complete immersion for the child in their room in Celtic green. He pretended that anything purple perhaps could be a monster. He started at every single moment speaking positively about his beloved Celtics. And he was complete immersion in the culture of the Celtics. After a number of months doing this, he let out a big sigh of relief when his child at a very young age declared that his son, in fact, would be a Celtic fan. Lahavdil Elef Havdalos. What this story shows us is the critical importance of Chinuch at a very young age for a child. That at its outset, purity and complete immersion is important, if not even critical. So this was understood by both the Greeks and the Jews. The Greeks made us write on the keren of a shore, on the horn of a calf, that ein lecha chelek be'elokim mimal, that we would have no portion in God above. And why did they make us write it on the horn? And the answer I heard once from Rabbi Friend is the following. That they used to use, they didn't have baby bottles in the olden days where you go to the local supermarket and pick up a Playtex, but rather they would use this horn as a form of a bottle, and they would pour the water in through the top, and through the narrow end they would put it in the baby's mouth, and it would serve as a bottle for the child. And the Greeks understood that where do you get the Jews to become Hellenized? Was it right at the outset of their chinuch career? When their babies on the horn write that there is no portion of God above. And the Jews understood that in order to fight back, that at the very outset it was important. It was critical that everything was done b'kedusha u'b'tahara, with complete purity. So yes, they didn't require at the outset of the Beis HaMikdash, it wasn't required for them to have used pure oil on a halachic level. But on a hashkafic level, what Chanukah means comes to Chinuch, the establishment. In the very beginning, at the outset, things have to be done pure and beautiful. And this is why it was required to have Shemen Zayazach, to have Tahor oil. Because at the very outset, it was necessary that the Beis HaMikdash, when it was reenacted, it would be done with purity and no b'di'evitz. And as everybody evolves and starts to raise their children, Chanukah is a wonderful lesson for us. That when one raises their children in the chinuch, in the process, everything has to be done b'kedusha u'b'tahara. And when you sit by the candles and you light those candles, it's a reminder to us, with our beautiful Shemen oil, that just like as those candles burn beautifully and purely, so too the homes in which we establish them in should also burn purely and beautifully. Have a lichtige Chanukah.